Hi, and welcome to the Arwood Mark studio recording basement. One thing's for sure, we are not at Microsoft Ignite, are we?
We are not.
Okay, but one thing hasn't changed. I am still Amy Arwood Mark, and you are?
Still Johan Arwood Mark.
Awesome. Okay.
Why are we here? We are here to present to you highlights of Ignite 2019.
Yeah,
As
day
Amy,
one.
Yeah, and for the first time since forever, we're not there.
And for the first time forever, I convinced you to do this in a single take. So, for everyone watching, I'm going to ask you to talk louder.
Louder? Okay,
Yes.
I can speak louder or bump up the volume later in post.
Yeah, but I think that you'll thank yourself for just doing it now.
All right. So, what is your favorite highlight from the day?
Okay, so you know how the last Ignites, I can remember one in particular where people were like, config manager is dead. And then there were other Ignites where people were mad because it felt like people from the product team weren't there and config manager and just that space wasn't very well represented, right? I literally feel like this entire Ignite, I'm sorry for every other product team and every other person who worked really hard on everything that they've announced. I literally feel like this Ignite is 100% about our space, config manager and Intune. And they finally got married, like us. So it's perfect.
Microsoft Endpoint Manager, that will be the new suite, the new productivity, everything in one umbrella. For systems management.
Yeah. So I gotta ask you, what's your least favorite hashtag?
That had to be hashtag SCCM.
Yeah. So when everyone was like, oh, SCCM is dead, well, the hashtag is finally dead. I feel like I win again. It's like a lottery.
You did win.
Yay.
So, Config Manager, Intune, a few other things branded under the same even sort of console. They were demonstrating the new admin center for device management. That was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It's not available yet in iTenant, so I couldn't check it out, but there was some sessions, and if you watch the keynote or the sessions, was it at 2 p.m., something like that? Today
Sounds
from
right.
Brett Anderson showing some stuff as well, so pretty cool.
What's really cool watching it from home is that we could see Brad working out of a web browser, and you could just I wonder what that URL is. I wonder if I can navigate to that. And sure enough, everything that he demoed you could get to, but I think that he has some special powers in his tenant because
I'm pretty sure that tenant was a bit upgraded.
Yep.
Yeah, so
exactly.
Don't know any time frame for that will happen. What we could see in the demos was there was a bunch of new stuff in the left pane of the console under devices that I haven't seen before.
Very shiny. It's not only what we have config manager admins have been asking for, basically a web version of the console, but you can see your entire landscape in a single pane of glass, which I love. I love simplifying things. You can see what's managed by Intune, what's co-managed, and what's managed just by config manager.
Yes.
Because currently, the only way that you can see that is if you enable co-management and then put the devices in a device collection that co-management knows about.
So very, very interested to see what happens there. And something that I found very interesting was this morning, David James, the director of engineering for the config manager team, changed the specific user voice item from just being a request into being planned. He
did. And in fact, you noticing that is what led to our idea to do this video. So kind of cool how that kind of played out in the end.
So the user voice item was?
Doing a web console, was it not?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's pretty shiny.
See what happens.
Yeah. So then we started reading his tweets and we saw... I think that he laid it out better than anybody, really, what those changes are. That it's a rebranding of Config Manager and Intune under this single platform. That the licensing is changing, specifically for Config Manager only shops, that you don't have to buy anything additional in order to use Intune. As Brad said in his keynote, when you go back to your hotel, turn on co-management, so that you can start enjoying these features, although you can't enjoy them yet, but soon enough, so you may as well do your homework while you're
Yeah, and for the record, there's a few more clicks than actually 4, because there's a few prereqs you need to have as well. But
Yes, there are a few things that you have to set up. And then also that, again, like we said before, if you're managing devices by Config Manager alone, you don't have to turn on co-management to see them in the Intune blade where you would see your other devices.
Very excited. Something I was really excited about was a stupid little change, but you can have really large files in one right now.
Yeah.
Like 100 gig files, and good for backing up VMs, it's good stuff. Yeah, happy.
Yeah, that's very shiny.
Yep. So what other things are new?
There was a really cool thing. Now we're stepping outside of our space. Project Cortex,
Yes.
Cortex.
Yes.
That is basically a knowledge platform. And this was something that really hit home to me, having my humble beginnings on help desk, was that we would work in all different kinds of documents to make documentation. And some documentation was in an Excel spreadsheet. Some was in a Word doc. Some was kept on Google Docs. Some was kept in SharePoint. Bottom line, there were a lot of documents written by a lot of people that were kind of spread out across a bunch of different platforms. And when the person would move on to a different role within the company or go work for a partner or leave, the documentation died kind of where it was left. So it was really hard to track down. It was really hard to understand who had taken over the documentation, if anybody, and really who is the expert in whatever document it is that you're reading. So this new platform will kind of look at your documents across your landscape, including, from what I understand, third-party applications as well, to put everything together and take a look at it and see, who's contributing the most to this document, who is the subject matter expert, so that like IT shops and help desk admins can track down the subject matter expert. Maybe they need to change what's in the document or get more understanding, or
So like a local machine type learning.
yeah. And it's so awesome. I feel like finally there was a statement in the keynote where we want the end users to feel like IT is thinking of me. I feel like, as a beginner from help desk, like finally Microsoft is thinking of me, creating these great things.
That's cool. Yeah. Another cool thing I like was that you finally, and wasn't really new at Ignite, but at Build they announced the web version of Visual Studio.
Yeah.
And now you can finally try it. Visual Studio Online, which is like a sort of a web version of Visual Studio Code-ish. But I'm looking forward to try that one, because it reduces a bit of the complexity having to install Visual Studio and all that stuff. Just log in and be done with it. And you have a cloud service in the back end and host your environment, and just cool stuff. I'm looking forward to that.
Very exciting.
So back to systems management for a while.
Yes,
Because
favorite thing ever.
yes, there are now a few devices under management, is it not? Like
A few. Yeah, I believe the stats that we heard today is that there are currently 90 million devices being managed.
close 190 million.
190 million. I'm super bad at math. Now everyone in the world knows I'm super bad at math.
So
190 million.
Yeah, and I saw a tweet from Brad Anderson where he was constantly refreshing his dashboard, hoping it would go over 200.
Well, he said it increases by a million every week.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so whoever's watching this on Friday, hopefully
200.
Brad can tweet that it's...
Yeah, it would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
That's super exciting.
That's all for today, right?
I think so. We plan to do this every day this week.
So...
Big promises.
Please add your comments below, and thanks for having us, and see you again tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.